Hi there, my name's Simon Drew, and I'd like to welcome you to the Practical Stoic Podcast, where I give you practical Stoic advice for modern times. If you'd like to learn more about Stoicism, or if you want some added inspiration in your day, just go to my website. It's risetothegoodlife.com. If you're interested in transforming your life with Stoic principles, then I also offer one-on-one coaching. To book your first free session, just head to risetothegoodlife.com/coaching and follow the links. But for now, enjoy this episode. Hi there, my name's Simon Drew, and welcome to the Practical Stoic Podcast. Sometimes life can be tiring. Often we'll come to a stage in life where we're just drifting along, going through the motions, wearing ourselves down one day at a time. Motivation subsides, the job we once loved seems boring and unimportant, and it seems like life is just heading on a downward spiral. I get it. Sometimes life can just be too much, and we all need a break from time to time. But what would the Stoics say to motivate us during these times? Well, I was recently reading Meditations, and I think that I've found the answer. Instead of telling you about the quote that I read, I'll just read it to you. Marcus Aurelius says, quote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work, as a human being. What do I have to complain of, if I'm going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into this world to do? Or is this what I was created for, to huddle under a blanket and stay warm? You may say, but it's nicer in here. So, you were born to feel nice, instead of doing things and experiencing them? Don't you see the plants, the birds, the ants and spiders and bees going about their individual tasks, putting the world in order as best they can? And you're not willing to do your job as a human being? Why aren't you running to do what your nature demands? You may also say, but we have to sleep sometime. Agreed, but nature set a limit on that, as it did on eating and drinking. And you're over that limit. You've had more than enough of that, but not of working. There you're still well below your quota. You don't love yourself enough, or you'd love your nature too, and what it demands of you. People who love what they do wear themselves down doing it. They even forget to wash or eat. Do you have less respect for your own nature than the engraver does for engraving, the dancer for the dance, the miser for money, or the social climber for status? When they're really possessed by what they do, they'd rather stop eating and sleeping than give up practicing their arts." End quote. So there you have it, one of the most motivating passages ever written. There are so many ways that I could discuss this quote, but I'll start with the first few sentences. He says, what do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into this world to do? Every single person on this earth has a purpose, whether that's their own personal purpose or their role in the larger scheme of humanity. We are all needed and we are all important, and what Marcus Aurelius is saying is that we should all seek to live our purpose, to do what we were put on this earth to do. Maybe you know what that is, maybe you don't, but whatever your situation, you should be excited to face the day and either to live your purpose or to find it. In that passage, Marcus Aurelius also moved our attention towards the plants and the animals, pointing out the fact that each of them has their purpose, and they do it diligently and willingly. So, are we any different from the plants and the animals? Don't we also, as humans, have a purpose to fulfill on this earth? Don't we play an important role in the larger scheme of nature and the world? I think that one of the main reasons why humanity has faced so much turmoil and chaos is because we see ourselves as separate from nature. But in reality, we are no different from the plants and the animals. We are biological creatures, and we too have important roles to play. Moving on, I want to bring the attention back to what Marcus Aurelius said about sleep. I'll repeat that part of the passage. He said, quote, "You may say, but we have to sleep sometime." Agreed, but nature set a limit on that, as it did on eating and drinking. And you're over the limit. You've had more than enough of that, but not of working. There you're still below your quota. End quote. Think about this the next time you feel like you just don't want to get up. Yes, we all need rest, but do we really need more than is necessary? You've got a life to live. You've got important work to do. You've got to be a human, and humans aren't supposed to waste their day away in bed. And this is coming from the emperor of the Roman Empire, a man who could have easily slept the day away if he wished, but instead chose to be industrious and to do his duty. And the final part of that passage that I really want to dissect is this, quote, "You don't love yourself enough, or you'd love your nature too, and what it demands of you. People who love what they do wear themselves down doing it, and they even forget to wash or eat." End quote. I think this is one of the most important lessons we can learn. That if you don't value your time, and if you don't value your day, then you don't value yourself. You need to care about yourself more. If you did, then you'd understand how much you could learn and grow and achieve in one day, and you'd get out of bed and be excited to face this day with vigor and power. He also talked about what happens when you do have such a strong purpose and a desire to fulfill your duties. We've all heard of people who go hours or even days doing nothing but working because they're so zoned in on their task. When you're really passionate about something, you'll get up early and start doing it. When you really have a true purpose, then you'll put in the hours to realize that purpose. So my question to you is this: when was the last time you were so passionate about your purpose that you couldn't sleep? When was the last time you got up at 5 o'clock a.m. without an alarm because you were so excited to start your day? I think this is one of the ultimate goals of life, to find something that you're so passionate about that you never feel like you're working. You just feel as though you're living out your purpose, and that's all that matters. If you've never felt that, then I'd encourage you to look deeper into yourself and to really try to find what it is that makes you feel alive. Because if you can create a life around doing the thing that makes you forget about time, then life will never be the same. So there were many takeaways from that amazing quote. But if I were to summarize it here, I would say this: remember that as a human you have a purpose. If you hate what you do, change what you do. Don't waste the day away in bed, but instead, get up and be excited to live your life and to do what you are meant to do. Get your ratio of sleep to work in order and correct yourself if you're becoming lazy. Love yourself enough to take your life seriously and to pack as much life into every day as you possibly can. Think about this the next time you're having a hard time getting out of bed, and I'm sure you'll get enough motivation to jump up and face your day. Hi there, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I just want to say a big thank you to all of you who are putting in time with this podcast, whether it's just by listening and growing and learning, or by commenting on posts that I'm putting online, or whether it's you're reviewing the podcast or sending me emails about questions that you have. I'm just really grateful for the community that we're building here. And I just wanted to let you guys know that if you haven't already done so, you can go on to Facebook and search Practical Stoic Mastermind, and you'll find the Facebook group there. And I've already been adding heaps of people, so hopefully we can grow this and really create a cool little community there of people who just want to learn more about Stoicism together. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys next time, but until then, I hope that this episode has helped you on your rise to the good life. Ciao. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Practical Stoic Podcast. I hope that you've gotten a lot of value out of it, and I hope that it helps you to live a better life. If you have enjoyed the podcast, then don't forget to subscribe so that you'll be the first to know when there are new episodes. If you really love the podcast, then I would appreciate a positive review, whether that's on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever else you listen. Don't forget that if you're interested in one-on-one Stoic coaching, then you can head to risetothegoodlife.com/coaching to book your first free session today.